3, 2, 1. We're alive, guys. So the day has come. It's finally here. Algebra 1 Regents has been finally published for June 2025. That means that we're going to go over the first part of the Regent, the multiple choice part. Well, unlike SATs, right? Algebra 1 and the Department of Education for the state of New York publishes the exact test that students took on their Algebra 1 Regents exam. So let's just go ahead and go over every single. Well, you know what? Before we're going to go over it, I just want to say something. Well, I looked it over. I'll be honest with you. I glanced. I didn't solve any questions yet, but I glanced and it was easy, guys. It was extremely easy. And whoever did not pass the Regents this year, this June, you need to watch my videos, guys. It's I can teach you how to solve these questions without even like knowing that much. I mean, you'll still have to know something, but you won't have to how would I say, like know a whole year of Algebra 1 knowledge of like a school year. So the whole thing I'm going to solve without a graphing calculator. I'm just going to have a regular calculator. So you don't have to know how to use graphing calculator here. Everything is going to be so easy. And if you, like I said, if you didn't pass it, you will think like, oh my God, I should have known that. I could have done it like that. All you had to do is just like basically answer on 17 questions correctly, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 18. And that would be already a passing grade, guys. So I really can't wait. You know, I actually had a whole group of students who I've been teaching the Algebra 1. Thank God everyone passed. But for whoever we're having a problem, I really, really want to go over it. Guys, let's do it. All right, a little nervous. So, here we go. Question number 1. The expression 10 over radical 2 is equivalent to. Well, first of all, 10 divided by radical 2 cannot be a whole number. Why? Because radical 2 is a irrational number, right? So 1 and 2 are wrong. It's definitely going to be between 3 and 4. Obviously, there is a, like I say, obviously there is a right way to do it, but I want to show you the wrong way to do it, but at the same time it's a right way to do it. Like it's a wrong way to do it but getting a right answer. How about that? So all you have to do here is just to divide 10 by square root of 2. Oh, that's all you have to do. You're literally gonna have to do 10 divided by, and then you can put parentheses, put 2, put radical there, close the parentheses and press equals. You get that 7.07. Write it down, right? And now all you have to do is just to multiply 5 times radical 2 and 10 times radical 2, and the one that will give you 7.07 will be the answer. Well, hint, hint, right? It's most likely going to be 3 because, well, 10 times anything, well, anything higher than 1 is going to be a 10 plus. So it's going to be 3. It's like not even a doubt. So let's see. 5 times. Well, I know it's 3, but you know I need to show you that I'm actually not making up those things. All right. So 7.07. Yes, 5 times radical 2 will be 7.07. The only thing that you could have asked me, like, why did you multiply, Roman? Well, if you have a number standing next to a radical or radical standing next to a number, it's multiplication in between. It's just like saying 5 times 2 or 5 times x or 5x. It's 5 times a radical 2. Now, you know what? Today I'm actually in the mood of giving you the ways to solve these questions without knowing how to do it algebraically. If you want to know how to do it like the correct way, I'll most likely will record a video like me going over and actually showing that you have to do multiplying by square root of 2 over square root of 2, then it's the whole thing. But you know what? Today, we're just getting right answers. That's what I do sometimes in my groups, we just show people how to get the right answer. All right, number 2. Over which interval is the parabola only increasing? Only increasing means only going up. So from where to where it was only going up? From here, it's going up, and boom, 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 and all the way. So what does that mean? Where is that? What's that point? Well, you start from 0, 0, and you start counting like squares. 1, 2, 3. It's at 3. It starts at 3. And where does it end? It doesn't end. It's like continuously. Like those arrows means that it's continuously going up. So it means that it starts from 3 and it doesn't stop. So from 3 and doesn't stop means infinity. The answer is 2. That's like a literally a 10-second question. Number 3. Which scenario represents an exponential relationship? Exponential relationship is something that increases not linearly. Well, something that increases by a way of multiplying, like times 2, like doubling and stuff like that, or actually going down too. So let's see. Kirsten's New Year's resolution is to lose 1 pound each. Oh my God. Really? Are you gonna put something like this on the test? To lose 1 pound each week. 1 pound of what? 1 pound of what? Okay. So anyways, 1 pound each week means that she's gonna lose consistently 1 pound. It's not gonna be 1 pound, then 2 pounds, then 3 pounds. It's just 1 pound each week. So it is linear. Wrong. Not exponential. Sarah wants to increase her grade by 5 points each quarter. Still linear. By 5 points, by 5 points, by 5 points, by 5 points. No. Tommy wants to reduce his spending by $50 each month. Same idea. By $50 down. And now, Dylan hopes to grow his business by 5% each month. Why it's exponential? Because 5% now, it's not the same number as 5% later. Like if you have $100, right? And 5% of $100 is $5, right? But once you have $105, 5% of 105 is not 5, it's more. That's why they increase here in exponential. So the answer will be 4. But that question, guys, questionable. Moving on. The geometry test scores for Andrea and Joe are shown in the table below. Okay. Which statement about their test scores is correct? Both the mean and the standard deviation of Andrea's test scores are higher than Joe's. Both the mean and standard deviation of Joe's test scores are higher than Andrea's. Okay, the mean of Andrea's test scores is higher than, the mean and standard deviation is higher than Andrea's, and the mean of Joe. Okay, so guys, how would you do it without a graphing calculator? Well, I would suggest lining those questions, like those answers up, like those numbers. That's not the answers. Those numbers up, and now I kind of promise you that I'm not gonna do it with I'm gonna do it without a calculator. I need to actually. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to use a calculator here. I think this is the question that I won't be able to do it. So okay, so Andrea, it's 82, 84, 87, and 90, and Joe is 68, no, 67, 78, 91, 94. All right, so in order to calculate the mean part is actually very, very easy. Everybody knows how to find mean. Mean, you just add the numbers, divide by how many. So we can do it real quick. So it's going to be 82 plus 84 plus, sorry guys, I'm going to have to do it real quick. Divided by 4. I know, Uh-oh. You see what happens? You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens? I don't know if you guys know that reference. That's from the Big Lebowski. Okay, 85.75. That's the mean. All right, and how about the mean for Joe? Plus 78, plus 91, plus 94. Divide that by 4. 82.5. That's mean. All right, so now we see that the mean of Andrea is higher. So let's see if which answers are telling us that the mean score of the Andrea is higher. Both means are both the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, so this might be the answer. Both mean and standard deviation of Joe's test score are higher. No. The mean of Andrea test scores is higher than Joe's. The mean of Andrea's test scores is higher than Joe's. So that's yes. That's part yes. But Joe's standard deviation is higher than Andrea's. Okay, so this is a possibility. The mean of Joe's test score is higher. No. All right, guys. So we arrived in between 1 and 3. Well, at least if you know how to do a mean, at least you if you don't know what the standard deviation is, that's at least what you can do to give yourself a chance of 50-50. Well, standard deviation. Let me explain standard deviations real quick on how it works. So standard deviation is higher of the numbers that are more spread, like further, like the lower number is further from the, like let's say from the higher number, rather than in the other, like a set of numbers. So over here, it starts from 82 and it adds on at 90. So the standard deviation here will be way lower than the standard deviation of the number of the set of numbers that start from 67 to 94. That's why the correct answer will be 3. But Joe's standard deviation is higher than Andreas. This is the best that I can do. Well, you know what? I don't blame you if you're just gonna choose in between 1 and 3. That's fine, and you know, for on some of those questions, you'll most likely be guessing a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, guys. Okay. Question number 5. Which polynomial has a degree of 3 and the leading coefficient of 2? Well, if a question is a gift, that's the question. So degree of a polynomial is the highest power. So the highest power 3 is only in number 4 and at number 2. So why? Because this is a power. This is the leading. This is the degree. Degree, like when they refer to degree, they mean the higher exponent. The highest exponent is 3. So this is wrong and this is wrong. Now let's decide whether it's 2 or 4. Leading coefficient is 2. Leading. Does the word leading reveal something to you? Yes. Leading means like first-ish. First number is 2. That's what they say. That's why the answer would be 4. Well, if anyone didn't see that, that's here. All right. Number 6. So far, so good. Number 6. So over here, just straight algebra. You just need to know how to do those things. That's all. How I teach those things is right here. There you go. You know what? Now I'm making it a little bit thicker. Okay, so the parentheses that has no sign up front can be just opened up without any repercussions. But the parentheses that has a minus in front, well, you have to imagine that there's an invisible 1, well, negative 1 in this case, and it will be distributed to every piece of the polynomial in the second parentheses. So negative 1 times 7x squared is going to be negative 7x squared. Negative 1 times negative 5, don't forget, is going to be plus 5x. So everything is just opposite sign. Opposite. Negative 1 times positive 4 is going to be negative 4. Now I'm going to have to combine like terms. That's what it's called. You need to know how to do it. So the like term, negative 3x squared and negative 7x squared, will combine into a negative 10x squared. 5x has no like term, no friends. So you just copy it. Plus 5x. And now plus 9 and negative 4 are like terms, which will smoosh together into a plus 5. And that's the answer. Where is it? It's here. Number 1. Number 1 is the answer. And we're switching to back to blue. All right, guys. Next question, number 7. The function hx is used to calculate the average height in inches of the tomato plant expected. Honestly, guys, I don't even read those things, to be honest. Like, who cares? Tomatoes, like cucumbers, pineapples. This is what's important. Between week 4 and week 12, the average rate of change in inches per week is. Average rate of change should be something that you know really, really well how to do. Why? Well, because it comes up a lot. So you need to know the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And yes, this is something that you do need to know. Like, if some things you don't have to know to get a right answer, this you do need to know. So where do I get those? y2, y1, where's that? Well, they told me week 4. Week 4 is here. Obviously, where else can it be? So week 4 is here, and because it says x weeks, but we know like where's number 4 at? Like, can be here nowhere. So so we're gonna write 4/12 as a point, 4 comma 12, and then we're going to write 12 over here, 12 and 60 as a point. And how I show my students is just put x and y, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and just plug those into this formula. That's it. That's it. 60 minus 12 over 12 minus 4, which is 48 over 8, which is 6. I mean, if you don't know how to do those calculations, do them on the calculator, but pretty basic, guys. Easy so far. Number 8, Chloe is solving the equation x squared plus 5x equals 3x plus 3. Her first step is shown below. So what is the given? So that's the given. What's the first step? What happened here? X squared did not change. 5x became 2x. Why? Because they subtracted 3x on both sides. Okay, we get that. And they also subtract 3. Because look at the right side of what was after the step 1. 0. How did it get 0? Well, they subtracted. They subtracted those. That's what they did. And it's actually called like that. The subtraction property of equality. It's actually called like that. And that's it. Is there something more? 9. Which function represents the graph of w of x equals to absolute value of x shifted 2 units to the right? Okay, so here you need to know something. This is something that's not that hard to remember. It goes like this. Inside of the parentheses is left or right shift. Inside of the parentheses. Outside of the parentheses, like those two, like plus 2, minus 2, like outside of the parentheses, outside of those brackets, is up, down. Easy to remember. You're gonna have to use it a lot later on with like a bunch of different stuff, so might as well remember. It's not that hard. The only trick here is that you need to know is that left is actually plus. It's counterintuitive, and right is minus. That's all. So when I want to do 2 units to the right, I actually do -2. Yeah. A little bit counterintuitive, but that's all. But it's the only trick here. So just remember that one thing. 10. Given the system of equations, a step in solving the system by using substitution method would be, substitution method is when we substitute something into something. Into something. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? So it's 2 times. Okay, so parentheses is probably something that has been substituted. Okay, so look at this. We're not allowed to substitute anything into anything before we have a variable x saying y equals. And there is no y equals here. It's y plus 4x. So what we're going to do here, we were going to subtract 4x from both sides, having now y equals to 5 minus 4x instead of the first one, obviously. And now what we're going to do, we're going to take that and we're going to put it instead of the y into the second equation over here. So it's going to be 2x minus 3 and then parentheses and then that thing. So 3. Right? 2x minus 3, this thing equals 10. That's it. Do I want to teach you more over here? No. No. Which equation is equivalent to this? All right. So shortcuts. You can graph everything, and the ones that will be this, like, will give you the same graph will be the answer. So you can do that, or you actually can just know how to do it. It goes like this. It comes from something that's called completing a square. So what you need to do here is to, instead of this left side, right? So here a little bit of knowledge is actually required. So you create a parentheses, right? And you always parentheses squared. And the right side is here. Same 27. And you always put x and half of that second piece. Without x though. Half of that. Minus 3. But what you have to do also is to add that half squared to the right side. -3. Okay, so what will happen is x minus 3 squared equals to 27 plus -3 squared is -3 times -3, which is 9. And that's it. So yes, you do need to know something here. If you're wondering what it is, it's completing square. If you want me to show you how to do completing square and you want to know this shortcut, because I actually have a kind of like a nice shortcut, comment below and I'll do like a whole video on how to do completing square. All right. The box plots below summarize the ages of athletes on the swim team, on the track team. Okay, so this is what? Box and whiskers. Those things are whiskers. Based on the box plot, which statement must be true? Okay, IQR and both teams are the same. IQR is the interquartile range. Okay, there are more athletes to swim in the team than the track team. Okay, more. The median. Okay, okay, guys. So this is something that we actually can start with the easier things and then go into the harder things. So we can start with IQR, I guess. IQR is the Q3 minus Q1. Where is Q3? Q3 is the end of the box, and Q1 is the beginning of the box. So in here, IQR will be 16 minus 12, which is 4. Over here, it's going to be 14 minus 10. Oh, which must be true, and I think this is true. 4 and 4. IQR on both teams is the same. Yeah. Okay, I actually don't have the the answer key in front of me, so I hope I actually doing it. I haven't done those questions. I didn't look at the answer key. Just complete freestyling. Something like this is how I would have done this test if I would be in 9th grade or 8th grade. That's what I'm doing. That's how I would that's how I would have answered those questions. Number 13. You can check me, by the way. And if I made any mistakes also, you can comment. I'm not even going to check. Promise. The domain of this function is... domain. What is domain? What is domain? Domain is how far on the left it starts. If I'm putting it in simple words, remember that. Domain is how far on the left it starts and how far on the right it ends. You know what I mean? How far on the left it starts? It starts at 0. Okay, so right away, this 15 and this 15, that's a big, like the beginnings, that's wrong. Right away. And, okay, so every time you have an open circle, we know that we have to use like curvy parentheses and not a bracket. Bracket we use with the closed point. So that means that the answer will be 3. I don't even have to like actually even look at those signs, which actually this sign of inequality, open circle, and this is a closed circle. This is 0 and this is, guess what, 12. But did I have to like check it? No, I didn't. I just eliminated all of the other wrong answers. That's all. Number 14. The sum of 3 and square root of 5 is irrational, rational, irrational, irrational. Well, sum means adding. You know what? Just add and you'll see. Just add and you'll see. You know what's irrational? Irrational is like a never-ending, non-repeating decimal. So square root of 5 is this, blah, 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 like 2 point, blah, 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 blah. Sum means adding, so plus 3. 5 point, blah, 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 blah. That's still irrational. So the answer cannot say irrational. Wrong. Rational, wrong. Irrational. Since the sum can be expressed as a terminating decimal, no, it cannot be. It's not a terminating decimal. We just saw that here. Never ending decimal. Wrong. That's so easy, guys. Like such an easy test. Like I don't know how like someone would get like a low grade on this algebra region. I'm telling you guys, like they're making it easier. Okay, which expression is equivalent to a to the 8th minus b to the 6th? Well, for that, you just need to know how power in a power works. Power in a power is when we multiply powers. And just by looking at those, right, I just can see that the answer is going to be a 3. For sure. Why? A and then to the power 4 and then to the power 2, I have to multiply those two powers, which will give me 8. And 3 times 2 will give me 6. That's all. That's all. That multiplies to 12. That multiplies to 8. But why? No. Those two, no. Like, because you have to make 2 parentheses because of that. It doesn't work like that, just so you know. No, no. Just 3. Wow. 16. The sum of 2 square root of 27 and 4 square root of 12 is... Look at this. They used a lot of radicals on those Algebra 1 tests, which is not that bad. We can do it. Well, I'll say what I said about the other questions on some other questions. If you want me to teach if you want me to make a video on how to like break radicals, I can like comment and I'll make a separate video on that. But for now, what you could have done is basically the same thing, just Do it on a calculator. Like square root of, yes, it's gonna take a while, but so what? You know? Like you can do it literally this way. 27 radical times 2. Boom. 10 point whatever, 40, right? Write it down. And then 12 radical, so that's that, times 4. 13.85. Do you have to write it down? No, you can just write plus because it says sum. So plus whatever you have written here, 10.4. That's 24.25. Where would 24.5 would be? Just do all of them. That's it. Like, is it? So write it down first. I'm giving you that that method. So in case you forgot how to do this in the right way, you know, I'm not saying that's how you're supposed to do it. No, I can show you how you're supposed to do it. I will probably right now, but I'm just giving to you how to get out of that question and getting the right answer. So square root of 3, I just pressed it, and then times 14. What is it? Yeah, 24.24, whatever. I think this is it. I think this will be that's the answer. That's all. It's not going to be anything else. It's just this. Now, the official way. So 2 radical 27. Radical 27 breaks down into 2 radicals multiplied to each other, one being 9 and another is 3. Well, this copies down. Radical 9 becomes a 3, and radical 3 just tags along. And now we have to multiply 2 and 3, which gives us 6 radical 3. And now the same thing we're going to have to do with 4 radical 12, somewhere here on the side. 4 radical 12 can be spread by like 2 radicals, 4 times 3, and now this copies, this is 2, and this is square root of 3, just stays. This becomes 8, square root of 3 tags along, and now we have to add those guys. 6 plus 8 is 14, and radical 3 just tags along. Boom. But now, what would you rather do? What I did on a calculator like in a couple of seconds, or that? Obviously, you cannot avoid that if you are on like a short response section, but we're not there yet. So just use my advice. Have it in your pocket, you know, you like know how to do this that particular way. All right, guys, we're moving on. Number 17. We're getting closer to the end. Okay, so the sum of teams H and Jack's H is 44. Teams H is 4 less than 7 times the Jack's H. X. Okay. An equation that could be used to model this scenario is, well, also kind of easy. Why? Jack says H is X, so one of them is X. Tim's is 4 less than 7 times X. What is 4 less than 7 times? 4 less is minus 4. 7 times is multiplied by 7. So this is 4 less than 7 times X. And together, the sum, they use a lot of words sum in like this test, is 44. Sum means what? Add them. So it's going to be 7x minus 4 plus x equals to 44. Where is it? It's 1. Easy. 18. Oh, when I see this, I do what? I plug in that number, -2, into every x in the expression here and here. Let's go. Let's just write it down. 2 to the power -2 plus 3 over -2 squared minus 2. What's the answer? Negative 2 plus 3 is just a 1. So it's 2 to the power 1, which is just 2. Over negative 2 squared is 4. Everything can be confirmed by the calculator. 4 minus 2 is 2. I'm already like doing some of that math like mentally. And 2 divided by 2, because it's easy. It's 2's and 1's, you know? So 2 over 2 is 1. The answer is 1. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. It's just no challenge so far. Okay, back to blue. 4 graphs are shown below. Boom, 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 boom. Which graphs represents a function? All right. Is this a function? Yes, it's just a parabola looking down. It is a function. Is B a function? Yes, a horizontal line is actually a function. Yes. What about a vertical line? No, the vertical line unfortunately is not a function. I mean, why unfortunately, it's just not a function. And a circle is also not a function. It doesn't pass a vertical line test. So a vertical line will hit your circle more than once. So the answer is just A and B. The answer is 2. Number 20. All right, so it's a classic. Like I said, I'm not gonna read the whole thing because I know what this question is about. It's about like me solving for one of those letters, for one of those variables. I just need to know which one. When M is written in terms of blah, blah, blah. So M. I have to get M out of there. M is in trouble and wants to get out and wants to be free like K. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kill everyone standing next to M one by one, ruthlessly, quietly. All right, so 1 over 2 M V squared. So first thing, or like the first thing that I'm going to kill is 1 over 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So that happens. And now over here, I'm going to have 2k. 2k equals mv squared. Who I'm going to kill next? V squared. How? Well, it's connected to m by multiplying, so I'm just going to divide. Divide by v squared. Boom, boom. That's the answer, guys. It's a 2-step question. It seems like more, but it's just a 2-step question. Is that the right one? Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay, we're getting to something that's it's not even harder, believe it or not. Let me just get a little bit more space. It's not harder. You know that this, like, a question like this, like number 21, used to be like number 5 or number 6, which is like technically supposed to be easier. All right, so how would I solve a question like that? The solution. So I just have to solve it. Just basically say solve, right? So how would I solve this? When I see a fraction, I don't want a fraction. When I see fraction, I want a fraction. Okay. When I see a fraction, I want to get rid of it. How? In order to get rid of a fraction, you're attacking denominator. So in order to get rid of that denominator, what you have to do is just to multiply both sides by it, by the denominator, and the denominator will disappear. Literally, times 3 on both sides. This goes away. That stays. I'm not even going to distribute yet. Equals to 3 times x plus 2. You see, I'm not even distributing. I'm just doing this. Now I'm going to distribute on both sides. Boom, 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 boom. 2 times 3x, 6x. 2 times negative 1, negative 2 equals to 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. 6x, and now I have to balance. And by the way, guys, I'm going to make a video on how this type of equations are solved differently in the United States and in other countries. Because they are solved differently. And the American way to solve an equation like this would be balancing. Balancing meaning that I want to get rid of that 3x on both sides, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract it on both sides. In other countries, they transfer it to the other side and then they combine them. In America, they do it differently. So they balance it. That's how I say it. I don't know if it's the legit way of saying it, but it looks like balancing. Now I have 3x minus 2 equals 6. What do I do now? Now I balance again. Guys, I don't have space. Okay, I'm going to write it here. 3x minus 2 equals 6. And now I'm going to get rid of the negative 2. Not transfer, get rid of. What do? I balance. I add 2 on both sides. So that this 2 goes away, and now it's 3x equals to 8. And what am I going to do now? I'm going to do the last step. And the last step is the same everywhere. It's division. So dividing by 3 on both sides, which means that x equals to 8 over 3. I don't have to actually get the decimal because all the answers are in the fraction form. 8 over 3 is the answer 4. Yes, so this is actually what's coming on my channel, on like how these equations are solved in different countries, and actually you will be the judge of where it's actually easier, or both methods are fine. And if you want my opinion, you're gonna have to just wait and watch the video, subscribe, and you'll see. You know, you'll see. Okay, next 22. All right. Is it challenging? Maybe a little. So they say sequence, right? They say sequence. Which equation represents the sequence 12, 6, 3, 3 over 2, where a1 is 12? What does that mean? And how do I solve it? And I'll show you my way of solving this. You just need to know that sequence has terms, and terms have like places. First, second, third. Like 12 is first. That's why it says a1 is 12. 6 is second. 3 is third, and 3 over 2 is fourth. What does that mean? It means that if I have to plug in 1 into the n, into like any of these functions, I'm supposed to get 12. If I plug in 2 into the n, I'm supposed to get 6. Well, if you plug in 1, actually, you will get 12 almost everywhere. So don't plug in the first one. It's just a waste of time. Just go ahead and do 2. Plug in 2 into all of them and see if you will get 6. Which one will give you 6? Okay, let's go. What if I do 2 over here? What if I plug in 2 over here? 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 over 2 to the power 1 is 1 over 2. So it's 1 over 2. 12 times 1 over 2, do it on a calculator if you don't know, it's 6. So do I have to check further? Probably, you know. It's just, I don't want to risk, right? I don't want to risk. I would probably want to plug in everywhere. Well, if I plug in here, it's going to be 1/4 will turn into, 1/2 will turn into 1/4 times 12 is not going to be 6. 2 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so it's going to be 2 times 12, 24. No. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 times 12 is not 6. Yeah, that's it. It's just 1. That's all. Just know that every term has an assigned place. First place, second place, third place, fourth place. Okay, number 23. Okay, the axis of symmetry is x equals 2 for which quadratic function? Well, we're getting to something that's actually harder. Well, this is probably going to take a while. unless we'll see it right away, which we probably won't. All right, so what is axis of symmetry? Axis of symmetry for a quadratic is a line that cuts it like right in the middle, like right in between the eyes, like that. That's of axis. This is an axis of symmetry, and it has to go through a number 2. So here we can just like see whether it is or it doesn't go through 2. No, if you can see, this is 1, 2, 3. So here the axis of symmetry is x equals 3 and we're looking for 2, so no. And now those guys. All right, so here what I would do, I would probably graph this if I would have a graphing. I would probably even, you know what, I probably would just be bold and graph it like right here, these, like -2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, 3, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, 6. So this is the parabola that I'm getting for number 3. Where would be the axis of symmetry? Over here. Does it go through 2? No. So that wouldn't be, that wouldn't be the answer. Well, I'm 50-50 right now. I'm between 2 and 4. All right, so what would I do here? You need to know that axis of symmetry has a specific formula. Axis of symmetry has a formula -b over 2a. Where is b? Where is a? What is that, Roman? How do you find that? Well, in quadratics, a, b, and c are just the numbers that go in front of the variables, and then the last number is c. So this is a, which is an invisible one. This is b, which is 4. And this is c. So let me just plug in those a and b into this formula and see whether the answer will be 2. If it's 2, that will be it. All right, so -b, which is minus -4 over 2 times 1, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. Dun, dun. That would be the answer. The answer is 2. I don't have to check this. Okay, what would you do if you actually had to check this? Okay, so there is A, that's this. There is B, that's this. There is no C. I mean, it's 0. So you actually do have enough to plug in. It's going to be -8 over 2, which is -4, so it's not it. So 4 is the answer. Finally. Number 24 is the last question, guys. Number 24 is the last question. And I think, I don't know if they actually, I want to make a short clip on how to solve this type of question without knowing at all of like what to do here. So, solving the hardest question on Algebra 1 Regents in 3 seconds. So basically, you cannot have matching values on the same level of fraction. So in the numerators or in the denominators. Look at this. You see mi, miles. This cannot be, this cannot exist. So that's wrong. Look at this. Miles. This is not allowed. That's wrong. Hours good, feet good, miles. Okay, so this can be potentially the right answer. Miles, feet, minutes, car, hour, miles. Okay, so no, this is not the answer. Look at this, hour. That's it. It's 3, guys. How about this? How about that? I didn't even read the question. Tell me if your teacher taught you that. Seriously. Comment, please. This is something that I want you to comment on this video. Did your teacher teach you how to solve this question in like 10 seconds without reading it? Yes or no? And if not, then just watch the full video and you'll see how. All right. This is it, guys. This is it. This is the first 24 questions on Algebra 1 Regents exam. So what we're going to do next, this is going to be part 1. This is going to be uploaded separately as a part 1 of 2025 June Algebra 1 Regents. And what we're going to do for the second one, we're obviously going to do the same thing. We're going to go over, we're going to do every single question, but not only that, what I also do, I go over the sample answers, and we also discuss of like why that answer got full credit and the other answer did not get the full credit. This is the best thing that you can do to prepare yourself, especially for August. Okay, if you did not pass the Regents, this will be a really good preparation for August. And if you think you need like private tutoring for Algebra 1 Regents, just reach out to me, comment, I'll reply, and you know how it's done. Guys, it was a pleasure.